Okay, so first thing to note, uh, for you Eagles is
Mm-hmm.
both Moiras through damage orbs.
Yep.
If we'll play a little farther, you can look that both of them have plus 20% plus alt charge before anything's happened, basically.
Okay.
That's very important. Moira ult, it's the only ult that goes through shields, so it's very good for pushing. So it's really important to build it as fast as possible. And like the only kind of counter to a Moira ult is like another Moira ult.
Okay.
Uh, so you can also see for the tank. So they Smurf just went for his pull combo, so San Francisco fucks that up. But you can see San Francisco pushes up quickly. Why might New York retreat? Also, like you can see Sabi will be behind.
Are they trying to do that thing you mentioned, like get them to use as many resources as they can without anyone dying and then counter engage? Using their resources, kind of like the back and forth.
Yeah, let's also re-watch some of this and pay attention to where Striker is. I'll speed it up to normal time for a sec. So I know Scribble, you're not here, but this is really important. So we're gonna see this a lot on offense. So Sabiobi, top left, right? You guys can't see my cursor, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Striker is kind of like an off angle. So what Striker is doing, so Sabiobi and Striker, they're fundamentally different Reapers. We'll see this kind of throughout this. Striker is like an off angle only Reaper, while Sabiobi is more of a flank Reaper. A Striker does some more flanking on defense, but on offense he always plays at an off angle. So let's say New York decides to hold where Smurf is. Well, the purpose of Striker's rotation is to kill Mano or Meko. So if Excel held like where their shields are, Striker would like have a free off angle for them, with like some decent cover. Them backing up, it's a lot harder for the Shock to engage on them, and especially a Striker to engage on them. The other reason, so when should Sabiobi drop? Because obviously he intends to.
Probably when they like
After. Go
push
ahead.
in and use cooldowns, and then he can kind of just drop down and get as much damage as he can without much threat. And if he still is like feeling threatened, he can hit shift and then walk into the team relatively safely.
After who uses cooldowns?
Orisa.
Yeah, probably Ursa. I guess.
Okay.
Or like maybe
So
to
so when Shock pushes in, where are they devoting all their attention to?
Mano and Meko.
Okay.
yeah.
So if Sabiobi were to drop, then he would be relatively uncontested, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when he should drop, when you push it, when SFS pushes in. So
Okay.
what like let's think one step farther because this is really important. What should San Francisco do to counter that?
Knowing that Sablebee's coming, or like in reaction to Sablebeee dropping.
Either one.
Uh, they should all, or they should Moth and Striker should turn to peel on Sablebeee at minimum. Uh,
What what it what if uh what if Striker? What if they would kill Minnow if Striker is attacking Minnow? Like they're all on Minnow.
I don't know.
Well, Moth. I mean Striker can be on Minnow, but Moth doesn't.
Okay.
Like, what value does Moth actually? He doesn't get a ton of value. It's hard to boot past the Arista Shield due to its curved nature. it's really important that Reaper doesn't do his job. So we'll see this a lot. Moth is always on Sabiobi. Sabiobi gets very little value because of Moth. I think that's one of the reasons SFS does so well against NYXL. Moth does a very good job. I think that if you can get away with it, SBB's style of play going in is better than Striker's, but I think Striker's style is more consistent. He gets less value consistently, but he gets value. So Choi pushes in. So when SFS pushes in, so Libero like goes in and then he like comes out. So now New York's used their resources, and so has SFS. Do you understand? So Smurf has used Fortify. I think Meko has used Mano has used Fortify. Yeah. So like just checking Mano, we can see he has nothing. He has no shield. His shield has been used. He has no Fortify. He has no pull. And if we check Smurf, we're gonna see the same thing. He's using Fortify right now. He has shield up, so there are a little up resources. So right now, and then Sinatra almost has punch, but he's peeling. So right now, like, if you're New York, what do you do?
Keep backing up.
Keep backing.
What do you do if you're Shock?
You push on it.
Keep pushing.
Well, okay, so you have your
Well, and then
Orisa
just
shield.
stay put, because they're kind of not keeping up with. I guess they have the new shield. I don't know. I feel like
You would
you're kind
you
of
would move
eating
in.
with resources, so
Move,
you just hold your ground.
move in with redeploy Sig shield further down, and then follow up with your Orisa shield after that once it comes off cooldown.
Let's just check one more thing. So,
Oh.
sorry for the when I move around quickly. So I'm more in the camp of hold position. So yes, they were about to have resources online, but resources come up pretty quick, especially Doom Punch. So you control point, you have a lot of space. Also, like you're dealing with SBB right now, right? So if you push, like you can boop SBB away, but that doesn't keep him away forever, you know? So you boop him away. He continues to get some value. You don't force him out. So I would much rather see SFS hold here with their superior resources, deal with SBB, and then look to finish the fight off. See what happen.
Okay.
Which is exactly what they do. How do you guys feel about New York giving up ticks?
That's fine. I mean,
Have to.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with giving up a tick or two to sustain.
Yep. Also, like, let's look at Libero. So he's gonna look to punch SFS in, which is a very good play. We can see Striker again off angling a little bit to prevent the push. So now Sinatra pushes in. I think they used the pull there. Okay, Sinatra pushes in, but no matter, he gets out without getting a pick, which is fine. Now Libero pushes in, also doesn't get a pick, also pulls out. So this is really key. It's okay if you don't get a pick. It's okay to back up. If you have any questions, always let me know. So now who has resources? I
think it's New York, right?
New York has shield. Smurf doesn't really has shield soon. It's about to have, but New York, yeah.
Okay.
New York has resources.
I just saw Sinatra use his resources to get out.
Yeah, I think neither Doomfist has any resources.
Yeah, both Doom should be on cooldown. I think SBB has his cooldowns back.
No,
Oh, okay.
Striker does.
Striker does. Okay.
Let's first ask: Is SFS position sustainable?
Not really.
Okay, so what should they do then?
They should try and go back and retake that, rehold that corner where the Sigma shield is.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I would say a little farther back than that, but yeah, can New York push them
Yeah,
there?
absolutely. Their shields are already doubly taking space for them, and
Can they push? Can they push? Okay, okay.
and Mano has a
So
new shield already too.
yeah, I think you're about right. Should they? So New York pushes. They use resources to push, but now SFS has resources again, so they push up, right? And they do the Doom combo. So what should Shock do right here? Should they push or should they back up?
Back out. Back
Why?
up, sorry. Because they pushed in and did their Doom combo. Sinatra just got out. They need to sustain and reset.
Okay, and what should New York do?
Push back in.
Yup, we're gonna notice a trend. So Liberal goes for a good finish off. Jonah gets his ult.
And he like uses it on cooldown, right? Like as soon as it comes up, he hits Q.
Yeah, it turns the tide.
Right, because the fight's still going on, and Moira should be getting it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
this should be called like a finishing ult. So like XL has the advantage. Now they have like the super advantage. Like who?
And they're on defense too.
Yeah. Now we have ults. Okay. Okay. I feel like my roommates are drinking. Whatever. They don't have class tomorrow, so
Let's
they can
go
do.
Tuesday.
I mean, we don't have classes on Wednesday, so.
Like just your whole school?
Uh, yeah, pretty much. It's lab days, so like,
Okay.
and CS students don't have labs.
Sure.
Uh, why is New York backing up?
They used a bunch of resources to push in and get as many picks as they could.
Cause
Yeah,
Shock's
they like
pushing
they
in
put their
with
shields down.
coalescence.
Let me ask a
Yeah.
different question. What position is better, this one or this one?
That one.
The second one?
Yeah, the one the shocker.
Yeah.
For New York, I mean.
Oh.
Probably. They're not either of them are that great, to be honest.
Why not?
Cause they're in like an open area and
Yeah.
they back up to another open area.
So here is my issue with this one is that you kind of have to deal with two different angles, and you also have to deal with the potential Reaper TP to high ground. And then you're kind of like at a soft corner, not a hard corner, so it's like kind of easy for them to push them. While here, I like this one better because number one, it's extra distance. If a defensive team can make the offensive team push straight in distance, it's really good in this meta because there's no range in this meta. And then they also have like a better escape path, and they can be flanked, but a flank up here takes a while, and a flank through hotel, it's not. It's easier to cover than like it's easier to cover a flank than an off angle. And like right here, this is an off angle. While it's hotel is a flank. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the reason New York is retreating is because this position is better than that position.
But you still kind of want to start up there, right? Like on defense, where you have basically the extra set of resources.
I mean, they started up there, but did they commit basically anything? I mean, I think
No.
Mano's gonna. No, they didn't. So like, yeah, they were using it for a little extra value.
Yeah, you use it to just force them to actually take the space, and then you move back to the corner. Is right?
Yes.
Okay.
No? Let's notice another thing. So Violet's alting, right?
Yeah.
So if you're New York, you have like a bigger incentive to go back because you can't counter alt. This is the quote unquote danger of Jonak using the alt the last fight because it didn't trade alts.
Mm.
Now Shock is up Coalescence.
But it was still the right call to use ult less fight.
Yes, it was the right call to use it.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure.
Was it almost
Uh,
unlucky that Violet died just as his coalescence came
no,
up? Okay.
I don't think Violet would have used Coalescence.
Yeah.
It's important for XL to guarantee that they win the fight, but
Sure.
I think what the lesson is, if you are like a team and you're getting pushed and you don't want to get pushed, you have to counter Coalescence.
Say that again.
So if you're getting pushed with Coalescence and
Oh.
you don't want to get pushed, you have two options. You can back up, which you don't want to because you don't want to get pushed, or you can counter Coalescence.
Okay.
You might have to counter beat or something. It's enough to like really tip the scales. It's 140 heals, and I don't know how much damage it is. It's not that much, but it's enough.
I thought it was like half.
Maybe it's 70 damage, but
Yeah.
like 70 damage on multiple people. Like
True shield.
it's not like a great ult in most metas, but through shield, like when other alts aren't so good, it's in the what is it in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's same principle here.
Yeah, it is half. It's 70 damage, 140 heals.
So like that's not insignificant. It's a pretty big advantage. So the New York eventually retreats. Sabiobi again went to push in. We can watch that because I think it's important. I know Cat isn't here. So I think okay, Sabiobi is there. Spot a Sabiobi. Moth is on it, dude. Could you guys see that, or is it too chaotic?
Did Sinatra turn to go on Savior B? Can we like
Yes.
okay. Like I assume he was punching like into the fight and then probably some Violet probably saw Savior B and called it and then both of them turned.
Yes.
Okay.
Moth is very, very good about this.
Like I know Moth like I know that you're saying Moth is, but that's what I was wondering about Sinatra since he was punching to Reaper. I would assume he turned to that and didn't just randomly punch that way, hoping to find SPB.
Yeah. So uh, I don't. If you get a pick on SPB, it's really valuable. I don't know if I would advise. I think like you might as well punch because like you just committed tank resources to like hold where Smurf is holding, so it can be kind of hard. Like I don't know. I think I would have been fine either way, honestly. No. I think Sinatra should have pushed for whatever, but I feel Sinatra probably should have. That's not whatever. Sinatra probably should have pushed forward because you have coalescence up. So if you get a punch onto one of the tanks plus coalescence, they probably die. Rip.
Okay.
So now we can see that I think San Francisco like continues to push. So Excel beats. or Anamo beats. And they get a good pull. So, okay, we can just watch the rest of this, but... What did New York do to win the fight? Like, why did they win the fight over Shock?
They sustained. They most of them moved out of Coalescence range. It was Jonak really only had to heal mana there. And then they counterbeated to re-engage once Shock was down Coalescence and down resources.
When did they re-engage? Like, did they did Shock push in? The push in didn't work. Did they wait? Did they push in immediately?
They beat it before right before Coalescence ends, so I would assume right immediately.
Yes, they pushed in right away. This is when you want to get aggressive. It's really important to not wait, because Doom cooldowns on a 4-second timer. Oh, I got my number ordering wrong. Okay. So why did Excel just do pull plus Sigma ult?
I want to make sure San Francisco doesn't engage with beat.
Elaborate more.
Well, they want you can either sit there and let San Francisco use their a big defensive ult to make sure they can run over you, or you can, force a whole bunch of people into the flux and force San Francisco to use it on your terms, like ahead of the engagement.
What would have New York done if Shock didn't beat?
If they didn't have beat, or if they didn't use
they
beat?
would have won
They
the
didn't-
fight.
I mean, Sigma ult doesn't one-shot people.
True. Well, Sabiel B's over there with his Reaper ult,
Yes.
but they're down on ults right now, so they needed to do ult aggressively to stop the fight before it starts, because otherwise they're gonna just get steamrolled with the ult disadvantage they're in.
Yep. So they get out beat, and then this is again a great disengagement. So they see the beat, and they're like, nah, and they all get out. And now when Shock engages, they can counter engage right away. This is actually really good play by San Francisco. So San Francisco get out. It's only 3v4. Now it's 4v4. Now it's 5v4. No, 4. Now 5. And almost 6. So San Francisco pushes like right away, right? What should New York here do?
Ideally, they'd give up a tick if they had one.
Or they don't.
I know.
I mean,
it's
anything
not.
else.
It's not good for New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
But
have
like what?
Just retreat all the way back and touch it like
They can.
95.
Yeah, they basically have two options. They can give up point, or they can attempt to contest. I think they go for the contest. Let me just look at my notes.
I mean, you might as well, right? Especially if you're already down ults, you get some kind of ult charge. You might not get much, but you'll get some.
You might get ults out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Ensure the finisher.
Like you're not gonna. You're down everything. You can't give up a tick. So try and get an ult out, try and build your own ults, play for the next fight.
Yep. So, how did Chalk play this? Well,
Like they well well.
I feel like it might have could have been more aggressive. Is this a fight? Would you categorize this fight as a success for Shock?
Like maybe a B minus success. They didn't. They used all that. They used both their remaining ults.
Was it a success for New York?
Yeah, about as successful as they could have hoped, considering the situation they were in. They got 2 ults out of Shock and contested the point for slightly longer than nothing.
Yes, I agree. Okay. Usually when I'm pausing, I'm just looking at my notes to make sure I don't miss anything. 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, we can kind of just. If you're Shock, what should you do here?
Well, they just supercharged.
Yeah, and they're halting right now.
So that's a clue. You can also see where Striker is. Can you guys see where Striker is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's by the mega in whatever that is bar.
Yep. So what is their plan? Since we kind of know.
They're gonna
You're gonna
supercharger.
Doom pull, and then Striker's gonna walk in while Doom's in there. Hopefully, and then kill them all, maybe?
Yep. So this is so Supercharger. There's kind of 2 different ways to play it. On King's Row, because considering it's so tight, we'll see a lot of aggro Supercharger. So you push down Supercharger and you get super aggressive, especially with Reaper ult or Coalescence. So 70 damage is like on Coalescence. It's bad, but like it's not that bad. But 105. So when you supercharge it, it boosts Coalescence to 105 damage. Like that starts to get scary. And then likewise, Reaper ult, it does like 170 DPS. So it's like a lot, but like not that much. When you boost that by 50%, not only does it boost Reaper's damage by 50%, but it also boosts his healing by 50%. So they're both really good combos. Hey, Cat.
Oh, it does? I didn't know it boosted its healing too.
Well,
I
it just
mean,
boosts the damage, and that in turn boosts the lifesteal.
Wait, we're talking about Coalescence?
No, Reaper.
Oh, Reaper. Sorry, I thought you meant Coalescence. My bad.
no, it does not boost the healing in Coalescence, but it does boost the damage.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Reaper. Okay, I know. I see what you're saying, Reader.
Uh, so the Coalescence, they get a big pull. They supercharger. Also, what is Moth doing? Can you see?
He's looking for Sabiel B.
Yeah, where's Sabiel be gonna be?
Sabiel B's in the fight. He's by Meko right now.
But why is Moth there, and where is he he expecting SBB to be?
I assume he's expecting SBB to have gone up like the walkway all
So
the way
like up
around to the
here,
window.
here or here?
Probably there.
Okay.
Or
So
the little fire thing.
there's kind of like 3 places SBB could be. Could be here, or could be here. Is there anywhere else he could realistically be?
Not on a flank.
Okay, so Kat, you watching now?
Mhm.
So Moth is positioned in such a way that that he can deal with SBB no matter which way it goes. Because yes, pushing with Lucio is great, but what what happens quite a bit if you've been watching Owl is one team pushes and then the Reaper goes into the backline and just devastates them. So Moth is there to prevent that.
Okay.
I think he we can check actually, but I'm pretty sure he used so he's just using amp right now on speed to get them to help his team push that little bit more. So yeah. So was that a fight? Was that a good fight from Shock? They used 2 ults for 0.
Yeah,
Why?
because they're on offense and trading ults for no ults is fine because they can afford to lose a fight or two.
What should they be looking for this fight?
To get out an ult.
Okay. Yeah. So what? What's the time? 2:49, 2:20. Okay.
This is my will.
Okay. Okay. So what is Sinatra trying to do?
I think he's trying to get in like a position where if New York tries to push in, he can drop in behind them and then like push somebody out of position
Yep.
and then get an easy pick.
Yep. What is Striker trying to do?
I think he's trying to deny like either Sabielby or Libero from getting that flank that they're probably looking for.
And also, what is he gonna do when New York
and
pushes?
He's also setting up for his own flank.
Yep. Why is Moth here?
Because that's where
It's not Striker
That's-
from flanking.
yeah, that's where Sabielby would be if he doesn't go where Sinatra and Striker already are.
What? And other question: what's the easiest way for Moth to die? Like right at the start of the fight.
Doom Fist Punch.
Halt punch.
Yeah. Does this avoid that?
Yeah.
Yep. And then of course Moira here so she can heal and fade and do Moira things. Not gonna lie, you kind of have the easiest thing to get used to, Eagles.
Yeah, yes. I don't like. There's a reason I'm not a big fan of Moira. She's kind of boring.
Yeah, that's true, and yeah, that's true.
And why is Smurf where he is?
It is good cover.
He pushed up.
Good cover.
He pushed his shield up there when they won that last fight because he's anchored to that corner there. And
Why isn't he farther up?
So there's no cover?
Yeah. Can you realistically prevent them from touching? No. Can Striker or Sinatra push them into your team or flank if you're farther up?
Not really.
And why is Troy where he is?
Because he's on cart with Smurf.
Yeah. Is it useful when we go over why everyone is positioned where they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Striker bows out of the flank. So they attempt their, if you can see, they attempt their punch combo, but Smurf has Fortify, right?
Mhm.
Gale the Mahol. Touch from afar.
Why is Shock backing up?
Because they're pushing through with Coalescence.
Yeah, but I think Shock probably could have played to get out another ult, maybe not. But I think at the end of the day, like, it achieves what Shock wanted to achieve, as Eagle said. They got out an ult. They got ults of their own, right? Again, look at Violet using damage orb. He now has ult.
He used one right before Smurf died too, when they were backing out.
So clearly not trying to stay alive. So when you heal, like, I'm gonna say something really obvious, but it's important to think about for you Eagles and Cat. When you heal your teammate, you're effectively giving the enemy ult charge, right? Especially if you're in a fight, a losing fight. It's so Violet can get 200 ult charge by using damage orb and give their healers some ult, or give 300 ult charge by like healing himself up. So it's like something to think about, or healing them up. Also, you don't reset as fast. You prolong the fight, so like you end up giving them more ult charge by healing. Okay, so nobody's. So why is Moth where he is?
Not get caught out. Also, it denies flanking.
Yes.
Also,
So
in
you can.
Owl, I've been seeing Lucio's beat Flux.
You have been.
Yeah.
Yes, you. So okay, so you beat Flux if you're gonna die otherwise. So I guess what I said earlier was incorrect or partially incorrect, depends how you want to view it. So like beating Flux is a low value move, but if it means you lose the fight, you have to do it anyways.
Okay.
If you lose the fight by not beating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So both teams are going for the same play here, right? You can see they're both fluxing. You can see Meko's flux. You can't see Choi's flux. Yeah, but it's happening. What's the purpose of New York's flux?
Stop San Francisco from retreating.
No, they're pushing in right now.
Same reason they did it the first time on point A, because they're down ults and they need to try and win the fight early and fast.
Even if they're not down ults, it's actually a real. So beating flux or using any defensive ult on flux is actually really low value, just because the fact that it does half the damage, and it prevents you from pushing in with it. So you're essentially trading a kind of a low value ult in flux for a high value ult in a support ult. But it's only like a worthwhile move if you can actually set up to capitalize on it. So like if you flux, don't get out of support ult and don't kill anything, it's not worth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see SBB right here almost with ult, and Doomfist right over here with ult. So like if they don't choose to commit resources to it, they'll win the fight. And Shock is doing the same thing. So both teams achieve their stated objective, and as a bonus, Excel kills Violet, which is why it's better to beat than and what do you call it? Than Violet's ult.
Coalescence.
Coalescence, yeah.
So basically, I should never be coalescing through
I mean, Violet Coalescence because they didn't have beat yet. And if they didn't Coalescence, they would have lost the fight.
Oh damn, I didn't even notice he coalescence because he got punched so damn fast.
You can also, I don't know if Dronek had. If you have your ult, you shouldn't like damage orb them
Okay.
because like it just feeds their support ults.
Cease your resistance.
So like we're gonna like kind of same move right by Shock. They push in aggressively. They get a good pull, and as soon as like the pull is happening, they use Supercharger. So that's a combo you can do, Reader. I'm not totally sure why XL Supercharged, but and just as a bonus, they used Beat to ensure.
They
How do you
tried the Jonak combo.
Yeah, they got pulled though. That's probably why what happened, or that is what
Mm.
happened. They
Mm.
got pulled in, so they didn't get the combo done.
Does supercharger require line of sight?
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty forgiving though.
Yeah, because it looked
Yeah,
like
you
it was
can wander around a corner for a little bit,
okay.
just like the mercy heals or whatever, right? Like you
Yeah.
can break line of sight for a hot second,
Okay.
come back
That,
in.
that was a very good fight for Shock.
It was expensive. They used 3 ults to confirm that one.
Yeah, but they used 3 ults in return for 2 ults.
That's true. Although, you know, that's super. Well,
Like, a offensive team, like
yeah. I think they were lucky that New York used that supercharger.
yeah, New York probably should have. New York probably could have lost that with 0 ults, but it still would have been like.
Yeah.
I don't think Shock would have beat it if New York didn't use ults.
Yeah. So what's Moth doing up top? He's just there to make sure that CBLB doesn't teleport up there.
And why else?
He can
If-
move them in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So should New York push up to this corner?
No.
Not if they see Moth up there, I guess.
Should they push into that corner under any circumstance?
Yeah, I
No.
think that's a good corner to hold.
But look at where they are.
Well, not right now,
But like, let's say Moth is with the team right here.
right?
Should they push in to that corner?
No. I mean,
Why
Shock
not?
Shock already owned that corner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's a good corner to hold.
On defense, you generally don't want to use resources to push into space like
Right.
that. If you can help it, it's much better to like hold right here and not use
But
resources.
suppose like they fight and then defense wins the fight and then they set up on that corner that Shock's at now for
That's
the
fine.
Okay.
But I guess I phrased first under any condition poorly.
So just like if you're coming into the fight to stop them, don't set up there, but if you already have control.
If you're trying to
fine,
stop
yeah.
them, it is better to let them push into you than you to push into them. Like
Gotcha.
like as a team. So it's like if you're set up right here, you can afford to set up your Doom combo first because you're on defense. You don't have to go to them. So like even though you're setting up farther back, you're still initiating first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you push up here, you had to use resources to get up here. So now you cannot initiate first. It's you in this meta. It's best to initiate first, just because the Doom combo requires a low amount of resources, and countering the Doom combo requires a large amount of resources. So what is Anamo doing to the left?
Dueling the striker.
Yeah, is this a good thing that he's doing?
I mean, striker's not getting any value, so
Yeah, number one job of Lucio. So I'm surprised by this push, honestly. I see an opportunity though. Troy almost dies. So
They didn't
now,
enjoy.
no, they couldn't have.
They weren't in position.
So this is actually something really clever San Francisco does. So right here, so Striker is just on Mecco, not he's not trying peeling. So there's a 2v1 right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's
Fight much easier for them.
essentially there's a 5v6 up here. So they literally tell Moth, they literally abandon Moth, and they press W right here. So this is a
5v4.
yeah 5v4.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say that. That's what I meant. And now by the time Libero comes back in,
So you think that was a set play? Or at least
hmm.
called?
I mean, it was definitely called. I think that they felt there was an opportunity if everyone pushed, and Moth knew that his job was to survive for as long as possible. I also think that like New York fucked up. They should not have pushed there. I think they saw an opportunity and then didn't get out, or they couldn't have gotten out because they used resources to get in. So then Shock pressed W onto them and killed them. Like Shock also had I think that I don't know like how much of it they thought about that in advance, but it was a very good play. I also don't know why Violet just used a heal orb.
Maybe misclick.
Yeah. Okay.
There he goes.
So why is Moth up here?
Because that's the best place for Sabioli to teleport. And then drop in and get a pole blossom.
Yeah, I also think he's worried about getting pulled. Why is Sinatra up here? I actually think
And to roll out.
yeah, I would probably have Moth on the other side, but why is Striker here?
As soon as they start to push in, Striker just walks around behind without having to teleport or Wraith.
Yep. Why is Troy here?
Because he's gold.
I think that's probably the most accurate answer.
I don't know.
Like he's there to like provide a crossfire. Like I guess what's different is Excel has to touch cart, so they can't afford to go deal with Troy. But I'm still not convinced.
Approaching its destination.
So Sabiobi gets a drop. I would have rather seen Moth up here for this reason, because I think a TP over here is unrealistic. So okay, actually never mind. I think it's like a 50-50 gamble. So let's say SBB comes out this door, right? He TPs up here and then drops, right?
Yeah.
Or let's say he comes out this door, he TPs up here and then drops.
That the side he was on is actually better because if Sabioli TPs to the other side, it's much easier to wall ride over there than it is the reverse.
Okay.
And Striker was over there. And Striker could have been like, hey, Moth.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I think that if Troy had been there, there's a good chance Sabio we wouldn't have been able to do that. So now, how do you? So now, like, it's even, right? But it's not even.
Because defenders spawn advantage.
And also, like, look at their health, and
Yeah.
so Troy. So okay, so right now, like, it doesn't look good for Shock. I think this play by Troy was really bad, actually. It was way too greedy, but
Yeah, it kind of left Smurf alone.
Yeah.
Like they were already like Striker was already not in position, like not in the best position to help.
Like
And-
Striker was fine. Like he could have just walked in and
Yeah.
raked out.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It just meant that they didn't have enough resources to be taking such aggressive. Like if they didn't have any off angles, like if nobody else was taking an off angle, maybe it was fine. But
Yeah, it forced Minnow into an awkward position, or it forced Smurf into an awkward position. Uh, so Striker fucks up his TP.
he makes the most out of it.
Yeah. So this is this is a let's look at Libero where he's set up.
And then can we watch Moth?
Yeah. I'll slow it down even more. So Moth is here, but now Moth is trapped. Moth is
Oh, he's stuck dueling.
yeah, because he's caught in whatever Sigma ult is called.
Wait, is Moth being affected by Flux?
Yes.
Okay. It's not
You
too bad with the Reaper. He can just boop
Yeah.
right now.
Uh, and then where? Okay, and then Libero's here, so he's so without B, this initiation just goes pretty well for New York. So they get a pick, and now they back up. They back up after getting a pick. Why is that?
Excelsior?
Yeah.
Because they're all super low. Libero and Mano and Savial B are all low, and Violet's ulting into them.
Yeah, they're out of resources. Like that's the fundamental reason. Whether that resource be health, or the shields they just used, or whatever it is.
I think they're probably screaming stable right now. Or
Yeah,
stable.
but in Korean. Sabiobi gets too greedy. Gets a good punch. Can you guys? Do you guys get sound?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Notice how the end game music is off because it was paused.
Yep.
No, it's because it was half speed. I think.
That's been going for a while, right?
So like you would expect it.
Anyways.
So New York's obviously looking for an aggro,
Yeah.
but I think I would have rather seen them play aggro around the corner.
Yeah, that's a really weird supercharger spot.
Yeah. Also, we haven't seen that a ton in this game, but it's pretty often Doomfist ult is used on Orisa ult because it can be very hard to kill with 2 shields.
Mm. If you can get a halt on it, I guess that's just extra gravy on the Sunday.
Yep. So New York does a very good retreat, and Shock makes the best of the situation, and then that's kind of. That's kind of it.
Mm.
Hello?
Hello.
Yo.
Does he make more herbs?
I have been studying, I think.
Makes sense.
He said that he would not be as around as much. He'll play more as a sub.
Okay.
No herbs.
He has schoolwork, peasant. I also have schoolwork. But I also have no social life, so like easy clap.
Easy, yeah.
Okay, Ash, you don't have to flex on us.
Weird flex, but okay.
Do you have a Visual Studio file named Shock versus Excelsior?
It's not Visual Studios, it's VS Code, but it's Shock Kings Row Defense and Shock Kings Row Attack. So I'm reading from. What is it?
Are you that much of a nerd that you take your notes in an IDE?
It's a
Okay.
good text editor.
So number one, it's a good text editor. Number two, it's what I like. I know all the keyboard shortcuts. It's what I'm used to typing in. Like, yeah. So I do keep my notes in an IDE. But technically, it's not an IDE. It's just a text editor.
It's got a terminal client built in. I don't know.
Okay,
I mean,
that
come
is
on, man.
true. It does have a terminal client,
Ain't nobody editing text in the client. Whatever.
and
Anyways,
also
keep going.
like it's not. It's just a normal file. So like, I'm not actually doing any code. Doesn't have like an extension. So like,
Attackers incoming in 30
it's got that going for it. It's got that going for me.
Pretty good. I mean, really, more text editors should ship with support for Git, but
I mean, it does have very good Git support. I gotta say.
yeah, no shit.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, so we see something a little different. So they started on the sim to TP to high ground, but otherwise they're the Pharah variation.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the best. This is the best Bastion variation. Why? Because the Pharah plus Bastion, they're very different from one another. So Pharah like Pharah, they provide different you play very differently against Pharah or Bastion because
Mhm.
Pharah can maneuver anywhere, so you have to be on certain corners, while like Bastion, you kind of have to like surround him and play a little bit split, and you end up with different like it's a very good flank angle. Like that's the gist of it. So I'm sure both teams are running set plays right now. I'm sure they both practice this. Okay, so Excel, they're set up here, and then they put Mano on point because Mano has the most durability out of anyone. So this is like where the Pharah comes into play. So let's say you're Reaper and you want to go target Mano. That's great. Oh, rip. There's a Pharah Mercy putting rockets up your ass. Not so great, right?
Mm.
You can also notice that Bastion is set up to control point space on point, right? So they're not trying to get super aggressive or anything. What they want is to keep Shock off the off point, right? So Bastion is set up in a manner to do that. So let's look at Shock. So Shock has Doom Reaper on the flank. Reaper is probably going to look to TP here or somewhere like as a flank. Doom is probably looking to punish them moving towards point. And then the rest of the team is here to deny them high ground, I think, or to like contest from below, because below this is a nice corner, and this is a nice corner, but they're LOSing and they're giving up a tick. Do you have any questions about why the teams are set up as they are? I'm gonna take that as a no.
No, sir.
Don't call me sir.
No hash.
No, ma'am.
So Troy's contesting point. So this is probably best.
I mean,
As
Hell's
Troy's
gonna do it.
yes. They have the rest of the team like looking here. That kind of provides some LOS, and then Sinatra is here, and then yes, and Striker is looking for the flank.
I think Savioli knows.
Yeah, I think they do know.
But what are you really gonna do?
Okay, So, so Shocks just succeeded in their goal. They got out. So their goal, I think, was to get out Immortality Field. So now I think they're gonna back up. I think they lose someone backing up. Yeah, they lose Violet.
I like that position in general.
Like right here.
Yeah, not like for most situations, but in this I think it's okay because you can retreat right into the room, and Bastion doesn't have the best line of sight to you, but you can still fight. Like,
They also have line of sight onto mana right here, so they force the
Mhm.
mana away, so they're no longer capping point.
if you watch the IOSX video, it's like they're choosing to make, like, they're just eliminating Bastion by not really making him effective to them.
Yep.
Other
So I
stuff.
think Moth was out of position. I don't know how Violet dies. Sinatra does his job. Striker does his job, but gets picked for it. But at this point, like, writing's on the wall. So I think like Shock played that fairly well. I think, I don't know, without those individual mistakes, I think they would have won. With a little bit more pressure on Bastion, I don't think Striker would have died.
Objective lost. Stop the pain.
Okay. So Sabiel we set up right here. Why set up here versus on cart?
Control more space for the recon.
Yeah. So like this is kind of the issue of Bastion, and this is why this is the last fight New York is on Bastion. So Bastion controls this space, right?
Mhm.
Shot cannot enter this space, but Bastion cannot move.
Yeah. Bastion's weakness is moving.
So
Mobility.
so Shock sets up right here. They stop cart right here. Spoiler alert.
But then Sabiobi can't really do anything.
Yes, but Excel is not achieving their goal. This also this strategy relies on, I don't know how realistic it is for you guys, but between between Smurf, Choi, Violet, even Moth and Striker a little bit, they are confident that they can prevent Pharmacy from soloing them. Okay, so why is Choi and Striker set up here?
Well, it's like King's Row. It's easy for Striker to go back in, and actually this time it's a good position by Choi, I think, because Sabiobi's not in line of sight. Though it would be, it's a hard rotation if he gets focused out.
So, but they can't focus. What do they have to focus him?
True. True.
So like, New York wants to like push here so they can help push the team with Bastion and without Bastion, but they can't do it because of Striker and Choi. And then they got the other one here, and then Doomfist is here. I don't know if he's going. He can like either choose to go around or choose to be a threat down there. And now like,
I think that's actually counting as contesting. Yeah.
yeah. Like, what is Sanfran doing? Nothing, right? What is
But
Cart
it's also
doing?
can't do anything. So
Yeah. Impatience is a big enemy. And they keep track of Barrage. And then once Sabiobi goes for the flank and gets it. So very good play by the Shock. And unsurprisingly, Excel switch off their signature comp. Okay. Not. How did you see I was in VS Code?
We can see your alt tab for whatever reason.
Oh.
Yeah, when you alt tab.
Not your cursor, just your
yeah, it's weird.
task switcher.
Okay. So let's go over everybody's position. Why is Smurf right here?
Is anchored to the corner.
Yep. Why is Troy right where he is?
Because he's
Because that's where Striker or Smurf is.
Why is Sinatra where he is?
I think he's getting healed. No.
For the halt punch
Oh.
combo.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Where's Moth?
Where the
I'll do
f-
you one better. Why is Moth?
Yeah, where the
Okay.
fuck is Moth? Oh,
Yeah, he's
wow.
right there.
Just
Why is
Lucio things.
Why is Moth there?
Because Lucio.
He can see that door to the right where Sabiel B might come from. He could
He can
also see that ledge right there that you're looking at, and he
He
can
can
boop
also
anybody
scroll up
forward.
in a fight. Yeah.
so he has very good visibility and very good beat potential, and he cannot killed by Hall. I think he might be excessively high, but I don't know.
That's just Lucio flexing before the fight starts.
Listen,
I would assume. I don't play Lucio, so, but I assume that's just
Uh,
normal Lucio things.
I mean, it prevents like he is under no threat, so it actually serves a purpose. Why is Striker here?
He is old, and
yeah.
he can
Drop on.
drop on him
Would-
with the halt comes in, or go
Uh,
behind him.
So he's probably gonna go behind when New York pushes. He can drop and wreck from behind. Should he be here even if he didn't have ult?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did I miss anyone? Oh, Moira.
Just
Why? Why is Moira here?
I mean, that's where her tanks are, and she does have that corner that she can back into if she needs to.
Yeah. Rip Eagles. Rip Flex supports.
Listen, it's been a while since I've had to switch off Lucio, so I'm okay.
Hmm.
As main support.
I got to play Zen for a long time. I'll take my penance. I'll pay my dues.
So both teams go. There's an aggressive supercharger and aggressive counter supercharger. Like Striker doesn't even go for a flank now. He's just focused on the tanks. Also, like, why is Sabi? We can look at Sabiobi, or I could just tell you. I think this is valuable to look. Let's look. So Sabiobi TP's up here. Moth is like, no. I think,
That's
and
why he was so up, because that's such an easy drop.
Moth is still like, no. Like,
What's Boop's cooldown?
4 seconds.
4 seconds.
Damn.
So SFS sets up same location, same principle. Also, they did Halt Punch. So they're gonna. I think this is the fight they use Halt a little differently. This is 3:15. Okay.
Is it normal for your eyes to hurt after you sleep too much?
Yeah,
Do
sometimes.
you wear?
Maybe. Yeah, I think.
Did you sleep in your contacts? Do
I
you
don't
wear
have
contacts?
No.
I don't know, maybe.
So I think Violet sends a heal orb there because he already has ult, while Jonak sends a damage orb. So they don't do the Halt Punch because Smurf does it too far up. So Striker goes from a Death Blossom, right? Gets nothing, right?
But he lives.
Yeah.
It's a zoning ult.
Yeah. So
Oh, I was
so
mostly joking.
yeah. So let's look at New York because they're very smart about this. So I think New York knows where Striker is. So they see it, and then let's look at Anamo's perspective. Is it Anamo or Anamo?
Anima.
Anamo. I don't know if I said that right.
Yeah.
So somehow he gets boop forwards and the rest of the team goes back. But I mean, I think New York expected that. So now New York gets Coalescence and Reaper ult. So that why didn't that work for Shock?
New York wasn't kind of. They still had a way to back out. They weren't fully committed to into the choke.
Yep. So this fight, Libero commits, and then Sinatra punches back.
Goddamn
So,
moth.
oh yeah, it happened again. It happens a couple fights. And then this was planned. We can watch that again. Let's watch Sinatra or Less Good X.
That
Okay,
clean
so-
wall ride from Moth.
So Sinatra's doing Seismic Slam, and he doesn't have punch. So he's clear, and he has ult. So he's definitely planning to look for an ult. And then he uses uppercut, so he has no cooldowns. And then he ults, and then Smurf does his thing.
It's like Space Jam, but
Better.
on a cooldown.
Beat to sustain.
Do you think there would be? I don't.
So here's the problem for New York. Like this choke is really bad. Like, there's not a lot of weight. Like New York, I think, is trying to match ults when they should be trying to use ults to push. Does that make sense?
Their ult economy has been kind of messed up from the start.
Well, at the high level, most of the time you see ults being matched because if your ult economy goes out of whack if you're forced to save ults to win a fight at a later date.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of been a little off tempo because they were on the Bastion Mercy.
I mean, yes, that is true. I don't think SPB has built ult because of Moth, but it's
Definitely.
for from some chokes in the game, it is so hard to push in that you need to have an ult advantage, and this is one of them, I would say.
The power of destruction.
So we'll see everybody's positioning again for the umpteenth time. Oh, actually, no. Striker's someone new.
Oh.
New York also goes high ground. What do you think of this rotation by New York?
It's
an even tinier choke.
But they can't but San Francisco can't access it.
yeah, sure. What are they gonna do really? Just shoot at them,
Yep.
and then not forces their squishies to take their jump position.
Then they just drop and take the normal choke? Or do they get booped?
No.
Okay, this confuses me. So okay, so San Francisco pushes, they drop back, like as soon as they beat, they like get the fuck out. And now they supercharger. So like you kinda see the battle of resources here. Okay. You understand? So San Francisco pushes up because they have advantage, and then New York beats, right? So they have advantage. So New York pushes in, and Shock backs out. But now New York just used their resources, so now Shock pushes in with their advantage. Does that kind of make sense?
Mhm.
It's really easier said than done. We're watching two of the three best teams in the league do it, and if you watched more of them, you would see that Shock, Vancouver, and New York are significantly better at this than every other team, and that's why they're number 1, 2, and 3.
Overwatch is first person StarCraft 2.
So right now, Shock is down Sinatra. You can see Sinatra coming way over from spawn. I like this decision by them. They choose to not to retreat because it's so far away. So they go for a pull push. And now, like, it's kind of same thing earlier. They know that Sabiobi likes to go for these flanks, so when he flanks, they push in.
And Libero just punched in without getting anybody.
Yup.
So now it's an even fight.
Yes.
All down 1.
Yes.
Nope, even. Because it's not
Sinatra could back. Yeah.
Oh my god, Smurf, what are you doing? Even.
Yeah.
Up 1. Even.
So they get a little. Shock gets split here, so they end up losing. But honestly, they played very well. Besides that, they cut off 4 minutes.
30 seconds remaining.
And Visual Studios Cat has a purple icon, FYI.
It was like really short, and I think I just saw the symbol.
Okay, so this is okay.
10 seconds.
Well, let's look at everybody's position again. Why is Smurf there? Start from San Francisco.
They plan on recontesting, and that's exactly where the card's going to be to recontest. That's a good corner to hold, and it's probably the best they have.
Yep. Why is Striker here?
He.
Is he looking to teleport up top?
Maybe.
I think that's what his animation is right now. That's why his guns are crossed.
Yeah, we can play for a little.
Oh no.
Nope.
Why is Striker there then?
I think so. My guess is Shock wants to kind of hard hold in this corner right here, and they're gonna use Sinatra to initiate. And like, Striker is not. Sabiobi is a very flanky Reaper. Striker is not.
Yeah.
Striker prefers to off angle. We didn't see the offense. We're recording this, but on offense, Striker basically never flanked. He always off angled, and I think same thing here.
It's easier to get resources that way.
Yes. So New York, like, again, we're seeing this like same pattern again. New York initiates, they don't get any value, they back up. Now San Fran initiates.
They get much more value.
Yeah, but they trade Moth.
But it's fine because you know how far Mecho has to go.
Yes. But like now San Francisco, besides Sinatra, they're like playing slow, right?
Wait, Moth died mid B.
Yes.
No.
So now like San Francisco's playing slow and New York's like playing faster. So like, and then Shock C9, but they would have probably New York probably would have won. So why do I think New York won? I think New York won because they initiated first. They got out resource. Well, they canceled the beat, which was good too. But they initiated first, got out resources. Shock initiated second. Sure, they got a kill, but now they're down. Like they used their resources defending and attacking. While like, it's a more efficient use of resources to be the first one to go in. It's more efficient because like Doom combo, pushing Doom doesn't require a ton of resources, while responding to it does. So now New York is farther ahead in resources because they initiated first. So Shock's mistake was they initiated second. Do you guys agree / does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
So this is why it's important to initiate first. And I think it's one of our biggest problems as a team. So unsurprisingly, Sabiobi is up here, right? If you're Shock and Sabiobi flanks the entire game, and you have game footage of Sabiobi flanking the entire time, you should never be surprised, right?
Yeah, Moth should already know this. And the entire game.
Yes.
My will 60 seconds.
So Striker goes for the duel, but he goes out of it. They also go for a pole combo. Let me check my notes. So Sinatra pushes in but gets out, and then no Libra. Okay. So I think Shock purposefully loses this fight, or mostly purposefully loses this fight. I wanted to go back further.
If they purposely did it, why would they use Meteor Strike? Oh, because it forced out Jonak.
Yeah, it was also, it looked winnable, so it's okay to do. It looked like it might have won the fight.
There was like a brief second of winnable.
Yeah,
What
and
is
it's
that
better
orb?
to use it. I think those are both.
Wait,
One's a,
no, just play.
I think they're.
60 seconds remaining.
I don't know. It's bugged.
Oh, okay. I thought it was actually there.
So why? So Shock pushes into this, and talked earlier about what happens when you try to push into it, especially as the defending. You're at a disadvantage when you push in. Shock pushes in right now to get a second fight. They stop the cart right here. They get a second fight.
Mm.
I mean, they barely get a second fight, but they do. They commit resources to push in. Now New York counter pushes, but because Shock used resources to get in, they're down, and it's not too surprising. So now they got them to use 2 ults in exchange for 1. And Sinatra's about to go giga-brained. So they go ball to make sure they can test. But Sinatra goes McCree. Why is McCree a good pick here? Anyone want to take a stab at it?
Get close to Sabiobiol.
Okay. What does Sabiobi like to do?
Flank.
Yeah. And does anyone know how much a McCree headshot does? I guess
140.
40.
yeah. What if it's supercharged? It does 210, I believe.
Big
So
one.
I am my guess is the reason whether they switch McCree here is because that they're gonna supercharge it, and when Sinatra comes out, he can do a lot of damage. Like they need something big to win here, right?
The payload is approaching its destination. Cease your resistance. Cease your resistance. 30 seconds.
Mono
Big dice.
silly.
I don't know. Actually, ends up being so. What ends up happening is I was Striker TP's up here. They supercharge her plus pull and GG.
Why was Mono in the position he was? He was just kind of standing in front of Shield.
Don't know. I want to wrap this up soon because it's been.
Oh,
Cease your resistance. Cease your resistance.
Yeah, that is a really weird spot.
Yeah. And like, yes, there's time, but overtime fights are stupid, so.
Mm.
Stop streaming. Okay, do you guys feel like you have a bit of a better grasp of what you should be doing now, each of your individual roles?
Yeah.